Good day, everyone. In today's video, we'll be talking about the VS Code, which is the text editor we'll be using to write our code. This video is just the continuation of the first video, which is the number one video on this Dart series, that programming language we're actually learning. All right. I will just head directly. But one thing I don't know, I should let me quickly confirm. What do I want to confirm is developer mode. Yeah, we need to check if the developer mode of this system is actually turned on. Let's quickly confirm that because Flutter is going to be needing that. Oh, I thought as much. It's not turned on. All right. I've turned it on, and I'll just say yes, definitely. Yeah, that's fine. Device portal. Yeah, it should be on. Allow it on. Just turn all this on, and the last thing is this discovery. The reason for all this is to be able to allow us to run the emulator efficiently. And if you are trying to connect to device instead of running emulator, probably the weight of the emulator is heavier than the laptop. One can actually use one device to do that, and yeah, we're going to be seeing that in this in the upcoming video actually. Okay, just a little bit of time. I don't know, probably we should just this shouldn't take time, but probably we should just end this record and come back to it. Let's just pause and come back. Thank you. All right, the Windows developer mode package uh, has been installed successfully, and yeah, you can see we're good. This is going to help along the way. Don't worry, we're going to explain all these carefully in the next video, like the upcoming video. All right, and we can enable this also. It is helpful, and I think we're good to go on this angle. All right, yeah, no device, no device to pair with yet, and definitely once we restart the system, everything is going to sync. All right, I think that's it. That's what I actually remember, and we can continue with the installation of the VS Code. All right, heading back to the browser, my Chrome browser, I'll just open another tab, actually, and I'll just type VS Code. VS Code is actually different from Visual Studio. There's Visual Studio, there's Visual Studio Code. VS Code is Visual Studio Code. It's a text editor. That's what I actually said in the previous video. But with some plugins, yeah, it can now work as IDE, which is the Integrated Development Environment. You can run your code efficiently on it, and let me show you Visual Studio. Visual Studio is Visual Studio is an IDE. Yes, Visual Studio is an IDE used by C# developer. We use it for app development also in Maui or Xamarin. We use it for a lot of kind of development with different languages. F# is there, C# is there, .NET framework, any kind of application, even games and the likes. We make use of it. This is a very robust. You can see ID and code editor. It's everything is been embedded. It's a very great tool. But that is not where we're going. But I don't want you to mix it up. There's a difference between Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. We need Visual Studio Code, not Visual Studio. All right. Okay, we are now on the Visual Studio landing page. All we just need is to download this. There's nothing special there. and this is going to download. It might take a little time just to actually minimize our time. Also, we're still going to pause this and come back to it. Thank you. All right, we've been able to download Visual Studio Code successfully. We can actually run it from here, and we can actually open the folder that it's been downloaded onto. All right, this is on download. Let's see. All right. Yeah, you can see the Git I downloaded earlier, and this is VS Code. We just run this and run. All right. Accept and accept, and yeah, just accept and accept. You can add it to the desktop. We can add this. Yeah, just add all this. Accept and install. Yeah, this has started installing, and not to waste our time again, we pause this process and come back to it. Thank you. Alright, we've been able to install VS Code successfully, and you can see this is also asking the wizard is asking if we want to launch it or not. Yeah, let's launch and see how it looks for those of us that we've not actually seen VS Code before. We don't know how it looks like. Okay. Alright, this is launching. Actually, I think I've written some code on this system before. Apologies for that. Let me close everything. Let me open new window entirely. Sorry about that. Actually, I write a lot of languages. I write Python. I write PHP. I write .NET, which is C Sharp. I also write JavaScript, and that's see. Just leave me. All right. This is VS Code uh, software which we'll be using to write our code, and you can see on this sidebar we can see open the folder. We can like all these tools are there for us. Definitely, we are going to be understanding it one after the other. This is a search. If we want to global search the whole folder, this is Git. Git actually comes with the with the text editor. This is debug. Yeah, this is very helpful. We're going to be learning. Debug is just to be able to. This is a process to find a bug. A bug is just an error, a problem inside your code. And we have remote. So I think this is Remote Explorer here, and this is the extension house. This is where you actually install the plugins, more extensions, things that will make your text editor, ordinary text editor, to work like an IDE. When you install any programming language or framework plugin, then your VS Code starts behaving like an IDE. You notice I've installed uh, Python stuff here, actually, but that's not where we're going. All right. Okay, this is VS Code to you. This is what we'll be using most of the time, and yeah, let's move on to the next tool we'll be installing, which is this is going to take much of our time, which is Android Studio. But before then, don't let me forget. Before then, we need to install the Flutter SDK. Yeah, we need to install Flutter SDK, and with the help of VS Code, we could be able to install Flutter SDK before moving to, because the SDK has to be up and running on the system before VS Code actually get installed. Sorry, before Android Studio actually get installed, because on the process is going to be identifying if if Flutter is on the system, and is going to be helpful everything will just sync and everything will be able to work perfectly fine. All right. With this VS Code now, we make use of it install to install Flutter SDK. What you just need to do is click on your keyboard. You need to press this command. We call that's control. You see CTRL. You click, you press it, you press hold it, and you press hold shift, and you press hold, and you just press P. Control shift P. That is what I actually type. All right, if you press it correctly, you are definitely going to see this. And when this comes up, all what you need is to um, actually select a folder which you need to download the VS the Flutter SDK, and yeah, just like that. Okay, few seconds. Let me check something. Sorry, I had to check something. I don't know why why my why this bringing is not bringing um Flutter for me. Okay, the main reason why is I need to come back to this extension, and I need to type in Flutter here so that I can install it. I said it earlier that if you want this text editor VS Code to work like an IDE, you need to install the language extension. This extension is going to be installed. This is, you can see from the Dart code. This is, you can see this blue button, that's or white button, I mean, that's what to identify if yes, I trust, to identify if it is from a safe place. All right, there is a lot of other plugins there also. You can see the Flutter widget snippet, which it is cool. We are going to install and make use of it in the future. um there are a lot of plugin I'm using, but this is a fresh installation. So many things are missing here, but let's just install the important, and we'll proceed. It's installing actually. This is taking too long. I don't know, not to waste our time. Probably I should pause this and we come back, but this shouldn't take much time. In 1, 2, 3, if it's not completed, I'm going to pause this and we come back to it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, Flutter extension is now downloaded. The plugin is downloaded and installed on the VS Code. And I don't know if you remember the command I made mention earlier, which is Ctrl Shift P, which was not working then. It's not that it's not working, but it's not bringing out Flutter. But let's try one more time, then we should be able to see Flutter now. Oh, fantastic. You can now see that the Flutter is there. This plugin is not the one that actually download the SDK. It's not the SDK itself. Yeah, it's just a plugin that let us to be able to download the real SDK on the system. And the way we can actually download the SDK is by clicking on new project. You create a new project so that it's able to download the SDK for us, and we just click on new, and alright, something happened. says could not find a Flutter SDK, definitely please download, or if already downloaded, click location, then we need to download because we don't have it yet. And yeah, definitely we can check before we download. We can actually check if Flutter is downloaded on the system before, but this tells us it hasn't downloaded. We can just come to the CLI again and type Flutter dash dash version. You can see that there's no Flutter on the system, and I'll close this back and I'll go and click download, and this is going to download us Flutter. All right. This want to look at where to download. Just like we are installing every other application, we have to look at where to save this actually. And yeah, you can save it anywhere, but it is advisable not to save it in program file. You can save it anywhere actually. Basically, I'll just locate my local DXC. Where is this? Where is it? All right, this is it, and I can just put it here. Just put my Flutter here. It's much easy that way. Create a new folder. Okay, and I'm going to put. Do I need dev? Yes, just put Flutter. That's fine. Just put Flutter. I've selected it, and I'll just click clone. And this is you can see that it actually states that downloading the Flutter SDK, this could take a few minutes, which means we are going to pause this video and we'll continue when Flutter SDK got installed. All right, thank you. It's the Flutter SDK is installed successfully now. It has been downloaded on the system, and we can start writing Flutter code, but not yet. We won't start writing any code yet. There's still one more installation that we need to do before we start writing any code. All right. After installation, it asks me if I'm to add to parts. VS Code add me, and I click add part. I don't know what that is missing in this video, but I have to state it, and I'll show you if it is successfully added or not, and if it is not, then how we can actually add to parts by ourselves. And what does add to parts actually means? Add to part is when tool like this is installed, it has to be added to part so that it can be seen entirely anywhere inside this system. Any directory you have, if you want to access that particular software or that particular tool, you could be able to. And this used to happen for any tool that can be accessible through the command line. Anything accessible, any of the software, any of the application that is accessible through the command line interface, CLI, those are the kind of software that used to require to to add. People that actually comes from any other programming language background could have understand this, because definitely I used to do it in Python, PHP, almost all the languages actually used to. All right. After that, then it pop up this for me to create an application, but I won't be doing it this way. I won't be creating an application. So far, we are not writing any code yet, but at least we've been able to successfully install Flutter. All right, to confirm, we can actually confirm that. We can come back to the CLI and type Flutter dash dash version, and we should be able to have Flutter. I can see this take one. I can see we have Flutter 3.44.4. All right, I think that's the latest version as at this time. And you can see that is already installed. A lot of things used to get is anything needed used to get installed on the system at the point of installing any SDK, anything that is required for the basic usage of the language or framework will be done. All right, I will just minimize this and let's see actually if it got downloaded. I save it on local disk, this guy, and I think I clicked this guy, you can see, but this is weird. This is weird. We now have Flutter. Okay, this is not bad, and we can just call this something else instead of that. Let's rename this file. That's why I was thinking of calling it dev actually, and the action can be complicated because this folder is okay. I think let me close this. Sorry about that. Let's try one more time. Does it work? All right, it works. All right, now you notice that something will be missing because we renamed it. If we check Flutter dash version, to said it can't see it, and the reason being is because we renamed the folder which the environment configuration of this system is actually looking for. All right, if we are to add that part manually, which it has been added automatically after the installation of the SDK, which the prompt came for me to click yes, which I clicked before continue this recording, which that's why I am doing this so that you'll be able to understand. All right, you can just go to your environment, just open your window and type environment, and this is going to take you to the system environment. You can see this comes up and just click on this environment variable. Let's check this path because it says add to path. We check this guy and it is actually here. You can see Flutter. This Flutter is actually, you can see we rename it to dev, and yeah, pretty much actually if we were to manually do it by ourselves, as I said earlier, and we just need to come this way and open the dev, open Flutter, and open Bane, and we copy this part and we come here, we can modify. So far is already there, and if not, we can add it, and this we click OK and OK and OK, and that is actually it. And once we come to CLI and type Flutter, that's the version, and you can see that Flutter is back. Flutter is back on the system, like it's globally accessible now because the part is now corrected. And all right, I think this is where we're going to be stopping for this video. But before then, let's quickly visit that environment one more time. I need to explain something to you for those who do not actually know. This is, you can see user variable. This is user variable for this particular user is what this system will be accessible to in a case when uh, um, your PC has multiple users. If you add to a user, that means it is only that particular user that you add it to at the point when you log in. It will be the only one that can access it, like access the Flutter. And if you want everybody to be able to access it, you can just come to the part of, you can see this is system variable, which is meant for the whole system. You can just look at parts, sorry, okay, this is it, and you can just add it here, but we are not doing that. That's just it. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I think that where we're going to be stopping for this video. It's already a long video, and I've been trying my best to make sure that this is not too long. All right. If this is your first time in watching my video, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. We take so many courses here. any kind of programming language is actually being done based on my experience will be taught here, and likewise soft skills are also taught here also, especially digital marketing, um, and every other sub branch under digital marketing, how people can actually make money, because programming is a career. Soft skill, which is data marketing, is also a career, and one can actually turn everything to business. It's just what can fetch one money, what one can actually venture into and be making living on. All right, without wasting much of our time, let's call it a video. Bye bye.